Hello everyone, my name is Cami Shabazz. I am a registered nurse with experience in cardiovascular and medical surgical nursing. Currently, I am a volunteer nurse with the American Red Cross, and I am working on becoming a part of their disaster action team. So recently I took part in a collegiate debate, and the topic that we chose was a piece of North Carolina legislation entitled House Bill 879 End of Life Option Act. So essentially, HB 879 would allow patients who have been diagnosed with a terminal incurable illness to end their own life in a humane and dignified manner. The bill would require physicians to give patients all of their options and allow them to make the most informed decision possible. So after doing some research, I would say that the best argument that I was able to find in support of HB 879 would have to do with patient autonomy. As morbid and horrible as it may sound, legally, suicide is not against the law. At the same time, patients have the right to request that they stop hydration and nutrition and can even receive palliative sedation to the point of unconsciousness in order to hasten their death. So if we allow patients the right to do both of these things, where does the distinction lie? Now, with that being said, the best argument that I was able to find against supporting HB 879 was the slippery slope argument. And essentially what this argument states is if we allow patients to make this informed decision to end their life, if they have a terminal illness, where will that stop? Where do we determine when it's okay for somebody to take their own life and when it's not, especially under the care of a physician? So on April 16th of 2019, it was introduced to the House. It passed its first reading, and a few days later on April 22nd, it went to the House Committee of Rules, Calendars, and Operations. And this is essentially where the bill has died. They have not yet moved it forward in order to be voted on by the House to eventually allow it to become law. Honestly, after doing all the research, I will say that I do support HB 879, and I do believe that we should work to pass this bill. One of the biggest arguments that I found in support of HB 879 is going to regard patient autonomy. We allow patients to make informed decisions about their care during life. We want them to lead a life full of dignity. Why should we not allow them to have that dignity in death as well? A lot of times, this decision that a patient makes in order to go through with medical aid in dying can be seen as their last act of autonomy, their last act of willfulness. And I don't believe that anybody should take that decision away from them. And people can take drastic measures in order to end their own life. So I don't see why, as medical professionals, we shouldn't step in and try to do something that would allow them to make an informed decision. So on that note, I kind of want to talk about how HB 8079 could help alleviate suffering as well. It is just unfortunately a reality that intractable pain and suffering during the end of life happens. So allowing the patient and giving them all of the options available to them during their end of life allows them that power to decide, how do you want to fight this battle? Especially if they are going to be in pain. As nurses, one of our biggest jobs is to alleviate discomfort and alleviate pain. It is at the very center of patient-centered care. Lastly, I really think there's something to be said about patient advocacy. As nurses, one of the biggest roles that we play for patients is patient advocate. So part of our job is to make sure that our patients are informed with all of the information they possibly can have in order to make decisions about their health care. And this is just another one of those issues that we need to be informed about and that we need to fight for the right for patients to make their own decisions. I think that the House Committee needs to push this bill forward so that it can be voted on by the House in order to ultimately become law. I'd like to end this by saying that while a lot of the people who argue against physician-assisted suicide make a lot of great points, we need to remember that at the end of the day, those who have been diagnosed with a terminal illness are not determining their own fate. They are not choosing death over life. It is an unfortunate reality that death is imminent for these patients. Death is inevitable and it is going to happen, and these patients are aware of that. We should allow these patients the same dignity in life to make informed decisions about their care, to make informed decisions about everything they do on a daily basis. We should allow that same respect for those patients in their death as well. And this bill, End of Life Option Act, would allow that to happen. If you want more information, I really suggest that you go check out Death with Dignity and also another organization called Dying Right North Carolina. They both have really great resources about why you should support HB 879. With that being said, I really appreciate you listening. Thank you.